Every game looks different.
One play at a time. Together.
You're the athlete, the coach,
Play hard, but you gotta be smart.
and the moments you might never see. Not just highlights, perspective. This is Jacket Nation Sports.
Okay, appreciate it.
I don't really know where we're going to go with this. I got some ideas.
Yeah.
I got some things I want to talk to you about, but I want to let folks get to know you a little bit.
Sorry.
In this day and age, we talk about your handles. So you're at Big Toe, big dot toe.
Yeah, TOW, like I told your car.
Like you towed your car, big dot toe on Instagram. But I want to back up a second because we got a mutual friend. Big fan of Jacket Nation, and you guys, did you play together?
We played together. We actually played together.
Right,
Yes,
Tyler
sir.
Couch.
Tyler Couch is my man. Yeah.
Shout out to Couch for the introduction. He's doing big things with SPD now, and he's not even on the beat necessarily. He likes to train jiu-jitsu, all sorts of wild stuff.
Man, I know we're gonna get into it, but it's cool seeing Tyler on the force because I was going to a restaurant downtown one day, and I just seen him. They had to like arrest this guy, and Couch was getting with him, and I'm walking by. I'm like, obviously, if you see officers, it was like 3 of them. You seeing officers like getting to it, like you just like, okay, I'm gonna just mind my business,
right? And
I keep walking. I'm like, man, is that Couch? Next thing you know, he looks up. He's like, hey, "What's up, Big Toe?" I'm like, "Yeah, you doing your thing. I'm gonna holler at you later." Like they was roughing the dude up. It was crazy.
Go about your business and shoot me a DM later.
No, for real.
Link up.
Yeah, that was probably about the last time I seen him. It was a couple years ago, but that was a funny experience. The way he used to rough dudes up on the football field. Hey man, if you see Couch coming, and he about to arrest you. Just go ahead. Hey. Put the hands behind the back.
Just let it go.
No, for
just
real.
Let him do his thing.
He's gonna lose that battle, I promise.
We always joke. I met Tyler. He was 13, 14.
Really?
Lifting weights with Tim Cole at the gym, and he said he wanted to fight crime. That was what his goal in life was to fight crime, and to see him do it, and at the level he's doing it, and it's all kind of coming full circle for him. We're proud of him. He's, I'll always be a Couch fan and always kind of watching what he's doing and looking out for him. And luckily he's looking out for a lot of people and doing some cool things.
Yeah.
So, Big Toe, big dot toe, but CJ, right?
CJ Jackson. Actually, my real name is Christopher. A lot of people don't know that, but I started about 2nd grade. I started going by CJ,
right?
And so that's been the raps ever since. I felt like Christopher was too long. Yeah. So I was like, man, let's call me CJ.
CJ?
And, everybody knows a CJ, right? So I'm happy to be that CJ most people know, Yeah.
I got you. Where'd you grow up?
So I'm originally from Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. Down there, north side of Houston.
Our boy Petty Eddie that I mentioned to you. He's a Texas guy.
Yeah, no doubt. Yes. North side of Houston, went to Summer Creek High School. It's a newer school. I was the 3rd graduating class. I know it's kind of different from Missouri, at least our area, Southwest Missouri. We don't see a lot of new high schools pop up a lot, but we're always building high schools down there in Houston, and I was part of the 3rd. My sister was actually part of the 1st graduating class. I was a part of the 3rd.
So what year?
2015.
Okay.
So you may not have heard of Summer Creek. We're famous for you may have heard of DeSoto in Dallas.
Oh yeah.
We are famous for the worst loss in a state championship game
to DeSoto.
It was something like it's like 70-13. But I always tell people. We were there, right? Okay. For Umbar ISD, we were the first.
You playing in it?
I didn't play in it. No, I didn't play it, unfortunately. We were good at football when I was down there, but that's what Summer Creek is. So if you may have heard of Summer Creek, that's maybe because it went viral after that. But
just got destroyed.
Yeah,
maybe that's when they started talking about BTA.
Probably. Hey, DeSoto had every right to pull their belts out after that. It was a bad one. But
Michael Irvin on the sidelines just running around screaming BTA. How about that?
No, for real, putting the hoodie over the Gatorade, but he was going crazy after the playoffs. Yeah, no, for real.
Oh, that'll be something we'll allude to, kind of that and what you're doing. But so what got you up in the Ozarks, Springfield?
So Evangel University recruited me. Coach Todd Drury, he's actually a head coach at Missouri S&T right now. He came all the way down to Houston and sat on my mom's couch and said, hey, I want you to come play football for us. And that was a big deal. My recruiting process it was funny because I never really heard of Southwest Missouri.
Right.
It's funny how God works, man. I'm a pastor's kid. My dad's a pastor, been a pastor my whole life. And we used to take church trips to Branson.
Okay.
And it didn't really click to me until my dad was like, dude, we used to vacation there all the time. I'm like, man, that's crazy. I kind of don't remember the area.
Right.
So Evangel recruited me. They recruited me first. That was my first offer. Then I got Grandview. Then I got some other like HBCUs in Texas. But Evangel was that first one. Mm-hmm. And it just meant a lot that coach would come 10 hours all the way to recruit me. And on signing day, I committed to Evangel sight unseen.
Sight unseen. Didn't even need a visit.
Just a virtual tour.
Virtual tour.
Yeah.
So that would have been 20... What year?
20. I graduated in 2015, so okay. 2015, yeah.
All right, so you were pre-COVID, so like virtual tours at that time were still like, people were like, what do you mean you looked at something through a phone?
Exactly,
like,
he pulled his laptop up and like ran us through the university. I'm like, oh, this is cool, you know? But I was just so focused on playing football.
It didn't matter?
It didn't matter. I mean, he offered me and that's all I needed to know. Right. I didn't care what jerseys they were wearing, this is great, what the females look like on campus, right. What they was feeding us. I could care less. I just want to play football.
You just wanted to wear a jersey.
That's it.
Hang out with the dudes, make some plays.
Exactly.
Get to that next level. And that's ultimately, we joke about the Tyler connection, but that's where you met Tyler?
That's where I met Couch. And it was funny because I think the Evangel way is what Coach Hepler has built in this program now. Obviously, I got Coach Hep his very first year. Right. Coach Elam was there when I got there, but then Coach Hep took the job in my freshman off season. But the idea of the upperclassmen teach the younger classmen the way they're supposed to go about their business, that's what Couch was for me. Right. And so I always have the ultimate respect for guys like, Tyler Couch, that just taught us the way of how to go about being a college athlete. Because you think you know it all, especially for me and guys, when you get out of high school and you were the man, and now you go to college and now you're a red shirt and they care about you, but they don't care about you too much because you're just a red shirt, right? But they teach you the ways of how to go about being I think a professional. And so I kept that inside of me when I was an upperclassman, and I feel like that just keeps. I kind of stay around the program a little bit around at Evangel, and I think that's why the successes constantly keep coming because of the guys like our upperclassmen that teach those younger guys the way they should.
They build a foundation, a culture, something that's repeatable.
For sure.
They don't have to reinvent. They're not, and we talk about that a lot with different stuff. Like, I was in a conversation the other day about stuff going on around town, and like no one's like coming up with this stuff. No, we're all watching other people. We're picking out what we like, how we could do it at a level that makes sense, something that keeps us the juices flowing, so to speak. And that's why I was intrigued by what you're doing and kind of talk about it, because with Jacket Nation Sports, we're trying to build a foundation of what we're doing, but we're also building it in a way that most people aren't used to, or they don't realize the end game. And the end game is, like I mentioned before we started, like the end game for us is always going to be, how do we put a positive light on more kids? And then how do we compound that into our community? And then how do we compound that into our business and the things we're doing? So that's what I want to get into with you about, is like, you don't have a set school program that you do. You're just trying to kind of do as much as possible, as many places as possible. So kind of tell me a little bit about like your business or your goals for what you're kind of doing.
Yeah. So I guess I can start also back at Evangel. I was blessed to be a film and broadcast major. Okay. And I always knew when I first got to Evangel, I thought I wanted to be a sportscaster, right? Okay. And then
you want to be Anchorman, but for sports.
Yeah, and I realized inside that process, I realized how hard it was to read a teleprompter. And I said, well, that ain't my calling to be behind a desk and suit on and all that good stuff. Luckily now we got podcasts, so I feel comfortable in this in regards. But well, I took a documentary class, and like most teachers say, right, the light bulb went off for me. And inside of that, right around 2018, I feel like sports videography was really big in the basketball community. And it's funny because I was a football guy, but basketball.
Baseball, what position? Sorry.
First base. I was really more of a baseball guy than I was a football guy.
Okay.
Most people don't know that. But I just played football because I'm big and I can move people out the way. So, you know.
Chicks dig the long ball too.
You know, hey, yeah. That's why, funny enough, I had people always say, linemen have a hard time of not hearing their name called. I was fine during football season because I knew I had my time coming in the springs. We was all good.
Speaking of that, we didn't even ask before we get to Big Toe. Where'd it come from?
So Big Toe is just I'll give you two stories.
Okay.
Big Toe, so when I get sophomore year, I was on varsity baseball, and it's just, that's my nickname. That's all it was. It was a guy on the team named Tory. He went by Lil Toe, and we're just warming up for practice one day. He's like, man, I'm going to call you Big Toe.
Okay.
And from there on in, it was just raps. I changed my Instagram name, and it's been raps ever since. But if you ever hear a story, I'm ruining it now. But if you ever hear a story of, I always tell people, which I'm not a partier, right? I'm a pastor's kid. I always tell people I got shot in my big toe at a house party.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, if you ever hear that story, just nod your head and be like, oh yeah, he told me that too. So,
okay.
But yeah, that's how that came about.
All right. So broadcast, videography, journalism, kind of, you've clearly went the videography way, right?
Yeah, for sure. And so to answer your question, I felt like I was under recruited coming out of Houston. Okay. So my main focus was how can I use this camera to help young men and young women get exposure? That way college coaches, especially back then, 10 years ago, in 2016, social media wasn't the way it was today. But obviously now in 2026, you could get recruited from a coach in New York that sees your highlights in Springfield, Missouri, and that could create interest for that coach to start recruiting you. Right. So that was my main focus of, using my camera to help athletes in my area, to help them get exposure, and then, help them get on over to college. A lot of people ask me, I'll be on like AAU tournament trips, and I see people at the hotel, and I'll be creating small talk. I'm like, hey, what are you doing today? And then sometimes they may see our cameras and things like that. I say I'm in the business of helping young men and young women get to college. Right. That's what I mainly focus on.
But I think that's like it's hard because you're combining business with high school sports in what I feel like has a negative light. Because when I was a kid, like if you wanted to get recruited, you either had to be the best, like you had to be good, and naturally you'd get recruited. But then there was like services you could do, and all-star games you could pay into, and all that boiled down to it was businesses trying to cabbage in my opinion, to the success of high school athletes. And I think it's watching it evolve. I think you're finding there's, not to discount like some of the services that are out there, but like there's wholesome, and then there's business.
Money grabs, right?
Right,
Yeah,
money grabs. Yeah. And so it's really neat to see where you're not necessarily, I guess what I'm getting at is, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like moving in, you were able to combine all of your passions into something that's ultimately helping people.
For sure.
Right. And I think it's really cool, because I think what we're going to see as this thing continues to develop, not only for us, but for people like you and young kids, is like, there's an avenue for kids to continue what drove them to athletics into something. Yeah. And if they're like, hey, I don't want to play sports in college, but guess what? There's universities that are growing these programs. They're doing this sort of thing. And I think you're kind of an example of that, where it's like, hey, I had this thing. I really like doing it. I wish I would have known about it, but I still wanted to play football. Yeah. So how can I get that how can I scratch that competitive itch outside of football, but also how am I helping make an impact in my community, in a student's life, all of that. So.
Yeah, I think what you said is very important, because that was my mindset going in, of understanding, because I think about my parents, and, you know, we wasn't poor by any means, but we wasn't super well off to pay a videographer to come to my games and, you know, produce me these highlights. That's my mindset in the back of my head of, how can I create something to where parents don't have to pay for it, to where they're still benefiting from it.
Right.
And that's my core. I'm trying to get to, and hopefully, you know, 10 years down the road, it will be something like that, to where parents don't have to think about that in the project. Now, it's two sides of it, because like you said, I am a person that I try to cover as much as the city as I can. And I know I'm only one man. I can only be in one place. If I'm at Hillcrest High School, I can't be at Nixon on the same night. So in those regards, some parents do have to, and I do offer those services to where you're like, hey, Big Toe, I want you here at this time, then they can pay me for that. But majority of what I do is trying to just, you know, navigate the scene of, oh, this person's playing well and this person's playing well. How can I get over here, produce them some content to where now the city is talking about them.
Right.
And then now we go from there to now the state is talking about them. And then we got situations like Chase Brenham, right? Now the nation's talking about them.
Right.
That's my main mindset. That's like the part that fuels me, is trying to find that young man or young woman that people don't know about yet, that I can then go produce them a highlight. And now we're talking, you know, over a season of, you know, possibly 4 or 5 different videos, getting them 50,000 different views. And it's college coaches inside of those views as well.
Right.
So,
well, and I think part of that, like you alluded to it, like college coaches aren't getting older, they're getting younger.
for sure.
They're understanding the power of these sort of things and how it can change, how they can, you know, if they're running their program like a business, which it's moving to that, you know, they're figuring out ways to stretch the recruiting dollar, how to be in more places. And they're leaning on people like you, people like us, who are making that sort of thing.
Sure.
And we live in a little bit different world where we're covering a team or a program and then a community and that sort of thing. Whereas you get to kind of be a little bit more selective, but you're all the same goal is in mind of how do I do more? How do I get better at my craft? And how do I use that to give a kid, a boy or a girl, some exposure that they may not get in another realm? But you're also then trying to figure out how to feed your family, feed yourself, and it's difficult.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't come. It's not easy. You can't turn on a switch.
Yeah, and that's the part that I appreciate Southwest Missouri so much for, is because they've wrapped their arms around me, and I truly feel the love and the support from what I do for the community.
Right.
And you're right. When I first started it and I was young and 21, 20, 21, 22, it was, I didn't have much bills, right? I could just go to basketball games and not really have to worry about things, especially like when I was living in Evangel when I first started. I wasn't paying. I was, my scholarship. I was paying for my room and board. But now, still trying to turn it into where it can be monetized, but not taken away from parents in a way. Like, that's not my mindset. My mindset is more what we do for the TOC, trying to get those big budgets to where I can then, we do those big budget projects, and then now I can put more pro bono time into what I do for the high school athletes. So that's huge for me, because I ain't gonna say I feel bad, but when I have to take money, and I know it's because they're giving me money for my time, and I get that, and my expertise and the time that I put in and learning the craft of how to make videos look presenting and help them look the best that they can for those athletes. But I always wish that parent could keep that money and it could be coming from somewhere else. That way, like, hey, you want to, instead of giving me that money, hey, go bomb some new shoes they may need, or go bomb go get them with their athletic trainer so they can get some more explosiveness, or, go get them with a skills trainer so they can work on their jumper. Right. Instead of giving me that money just to produce some highlights. But I get it. In some instances, it has to happen, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's weird for us too, because it's like, you don't want to, like, I'm trying to, like, you don't want to beg for funds.
For sure.
But you also see an end game and you understand it, but you have to put A and then B and then C together to ultimately show what D is. And that's a struggle because, like, they don't, you know, parents or business owners or business leaders or community members, like, they don't live in that lane. So it's kind of foreign to them. But as social media keeps going, as they're relating to what they're seeing more, and then they go, oh, it clicks. Yeah. And then then they're fortunate to go, how do we work together?
Yeah.
How can we achieve that? And like you said, like, there's gotta be some way or some opportunity out there to connect the dots and connect your skill set to kids that don't have it, or not every school has the ability to go out and do it. And then you're doing some other things and you're trying to figure out, you know, how to help them or whatever. But like basketball specifically, let's get back into kind of that. Like, you're a football player, but a baseball enthusiast, football player, but like, how did it transition into basketball? Or like,
I think for me, I feel like basketball and the culture was created with film. So one of the biggest films I take away is He Got Game. Okay. Yeah. That's like kind of
Ray Allen.
With Ray Allen, He Got Game.
Probably my least favorite Jordans that he wore in that too.
Facts. He Got Game, and then it's a documentary. It's blanking my mind right now. It's not Baller's Life, but it's a document. He Got Game, and in that documentary, kind of tied the two of why I connect film with basketball. Right. And then I also think about, I personally think the mecca of basketball is kind of created like in New York with the Rucker and all that good stuff. So my mind, those two connect for me. And then when I think about like the highlights we see on like the Baller's Life highlights or the hoop mixtape highlights.
And one mixtape from back in the day.
Right? Like
a company was built.
Yeah.
A company went, like, that's a weird correlation to really think about it from business, and not to interrupt you too much, but like, the And One mixtape was the first videographer doing what in 26 is now becoming a necessity.
Exactly.
But before, it was, they were doing it to show off basketball and do all that, but it was a company that was like, we can build a business doing this and get in front of those people who do it. But then you can go back before that and you go the Michael Jordan realm of like, there wasn't signature shoes till Michael Jordan was like, hey, I'll sign with you, but I want what is mine. And then, you know, I don't know, it's a thing that has always been a thing.
For sure.
We just didn't understand it because you also didn't have access to see how it was being done until like there was just an And One documentary like a couple of years ago where they went back and they were like, here's why we did these videos.
Exactly. Right. Like even think about like the last game.
Right.
Right. Like
Last Dance.
The Last Dance. Excuse me. Yeah. So for somebody to have the vision to realize this is probably Michael Jordan's last year, let's put as many cameras as we can around him, to now later on, I think it came out around the COVID time.
Yeah, I got another question about that.
Yeah, but to think about, it came out 20 years later.
Right, 20 years it's sitting somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody got all these VHS tapes.
Yeah, you know?
Like, here's my box.
and then we tied in with modern day interviews, but just that connection of film, culture, and then a sport all coming together as one is kind of how I automatically was, you know, thinking basketball. And I'll be honest, basketball is the easiest sport to film out of any other sport.
Football's tough.
Football is tough, right? Especially from a one-man standpoint.
Right.
I tell people this all the time, especially when I go to AAU, or even not AAU, let's take the Blue and Gold, for example. I can go to the Blue and Gold, film 8 games, and stand in the same spot and I can say I have efficient footage, like good footage.
Right.
I can't go to the Lebanon versus Nixa and stand in one spot and say I got the whole game efficiently. Right. You know,
or you can if you have a $3,000 budget for a lens.
Right. Yeah. But even then, at some point, if I'm standing on one side of the field and Lebanon's scoring on the other side, I got the shot.
But you don't have the shot.
How much cooler is that shot? If that's why so that's why basketball. Although I wasn't thinking like that when I first started it, but this basketball too is just the easier sport to capture.
Right.
Overall,
I think what's cool with some of the things we're doing is with Brian's skill set of making the videos and like the movies and that sort of thing. We can take and put that eye in a live stream setup. So you can kind of blend the both and it's not so generic. But then like this year we added replay and it's been huge because people like, they love to be able, they watch an NFL game and replay second nature.
For sure.
But now we can take basketball replays. We have that content. But if we're filming it, when we have everything together, when we film it from a videographer standpoint, like the replays are that much better.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to learn how to be as efficient with that footage so that we can create even more content of all the sports and activities and different things. But I want to go back, The Last Dance.
Okay.
Obviously, Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I don't care if you want to fight me on that. He's the GOAT. He's a GOAT. But like, how fortunate was The Last Dance to have COVID?
Yeah, huge.
Because like obviously that would have been a really cool documentary across the board, but like we had nothing to do.
Nothing else to do.
Everything was shut off. You couldn't watch sports. And then they were like, they had been making it because I remember hearing, this was coming or whatever, but then COVID hit and they were like, oh no, it's here.
Yeah.
It's here. Sunday nights. I was so bad. I've got a pair of Concords.
Yeah.
I wore them and watched it.
We were so excited for something during COVID,
sitting at home and I was like, oh, I'm wearing these.
Yeah.
And they don't get worn. I've only worn them one time other than that. And that was to do Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
So like it was, but like the memories and the things too, like how that related to like looking back and watching The Last Dance and remembering what I was like the memories I had. Cause I was a hooper in that time frame. Like I wasn't like wasn't going to play college ball or anything, but I wanted to be basketball. Yeah. Like I played football, but like basketball is different because like it's 5.
Yeah.
It takes a big group. Football takes a big group.
Yeah.
It condenses down to 22, maybe 24, 26 if you count special teams and like but basketball is 5.
Yeah.
It's eyeballs on a select group. And like, as a kid, like you're like, oh, basketball.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing.
That was me. I mean, it was funny. I found a old VHS tape of my dad. I'm not a big jersey guy. Okay. Not that I don't mind wearing another grown man's jersey, but I'm just not a big jersey guy. The only jersey I've ever owned in my life, my dad gifted to me for Christmas, and he caught it on VHS, and it was a Kobe 8 jersey. That's how
Kobe 8 jersey.
It was a Kobe 8 jersey with the Lakers, and I just ran around the house. Oh, let's go, like Kobe. And I was a big Kobe fan growing up, but that's like what you talk about. Basketball is just such I just see it as poetry. Right. Like just the way guys move with the ball, and just I think a big part that plays into it too is like when they don't have the helmets on, so you can actually see the facial expression.
That's the thing. I've had that conversation.
You're closer to the action versus football. Like it's only so close you can get to the to football action.
You can't see their eyes. You don't feel like you feel the emotion on the walkouts and that sort of thing. Sure. But like basketball just cranks it a little bit more.
It's always going to be a little bit more. It also, like, I think that crowded of a space too with just fans going crazy. I mean, like, it's March, right? Like, we living for these games that's coming in March, and to see that raw reaction of, just how passionate the game is. It was always just basketball for me. I don't know what clicked for me, and two, I think I wanted to be a basketball guy too. I played a little, like you said, I played in middle school. I was just football, baseball, so basketball was in the middle. And I was pretty good. I was pretty good at both. So I couldn't. I wasn't like an Adam McKnight to where I could do all three.
Right.
I had to kind of pick the two.
Shout out Adam McKnight. Saw he was at Missouri State spring practice.
No,
Also, Missouri State, can't thank them enough. They came in and chopped it up with us last week. Coach Woods is doing some cool stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
But no, you're right. Like, there is a different kind of emotion when you throw basketball and like how it works. And like, you know, football, they're playing in front of 70,000. Basketball, like 20,000 maxed out, but it's like rabid.
Yeah.
And they're in your face. They're close. You know, I've got a little goal. I want to sit courtside. I got a buddy that's done some courtside seats in the NBA. I've been to one NBA game.
Okay, nice.
But it was down at OKC, and it was a good game. It's what we were supposed to watch LeBron.
Oh, okay.
But he was out. But fortunately, it was the game that Beasley was still on the Lakers, and he came out with his shorts on backwards. So that was a funny moment of that game. But you shared your jersey story. I was a Shaq guy.
Okay.
I was growing. I mean, I was always a Jordan guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to my grandma, bought me the Jordan every year. That's why, like, she bought me 2 through 8. And then I got old enough where it was like, hey, sorry, they're $120 instead of $60 now. So we're gonna back off. But 2 through 8, because those are my things. But I had Jordan jerseys, but Shaq was my first real jersey.
Yeah, big Diesel.
Sewn on letters. Sewn on numbers. That's and stuff. Like, you're like, oh, then you put it on and you're like, they wear this during games?
Yeah.
Like, it was all that thick mesh,
a little
hot, heavy, doesn't like repel sweat, nothing. And it was, but I'm like you. I'm not, I ain't
big jersey guy.
I ain't wearing a jersey.
You know what I'm saying? I respect it. No disrespect to people that do, but you know.
Also, if you're over 18, you don't bring a glove to a game.
No, 100% no. 100%. I started feeling away. So, like I said, I'm from Houston. My dad being a pastor, we were connected with a Boys and Girls Club. And this was back when the Astros were bad. Bad. So begging people to come to the game. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, right? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Is what I tell people. But this is back when people were begging people to come to the Astros game. And the Boys and Girls Club, obviously being connected with the MLB, they would get a lot of free tickets. And I was like, sophomore in high school, I started feeling like, man, I think it's time for me to start bringing this glove to the game. You know what I'm saying? It gets to a point.
Like, if you got a kid in tow,
for sure.
If you're the big brother of the big brothers and sisters, like you can bring the glove for your little brother. Yeah. But like, you're going to the ball game with the boys, like.
Yeah, I'd rather be that guy that made it Sports Center for catching a barehanded home run than, you know, catching one up with my glove.
Yeah, let's leave the gloves at home. I'm all for it. If you want to wear a jersey, you want to wear a jersey, like, I'm judging you, but like, wear it. Yeah. I get it. But like,
you gotta leave the glove in the car, huh?
Yeah, we gotta leave the glove in the car. We gotta leave the glove and the Sharpie in the car.
Yeah.
Like,
I ain't mad at
you
that
don't need the autograph.
Yeah.
You know,
you big on that too?
I'm like, again, if like autographs, like I can't fathom being a professional player and how much they get asked for it.
Yeah.
And I wish that we as adults, like, I would give it, and like, I get it. Like, if I knew Michael Jordan was going to be in town, like, I'm probably hunting him down, hoping for an autograph. But, and maybe that's right or wrong, but like, we've made it so economical for all of this stuff. And like, I watched a video the other night and it was kind of cool, probably get some hate for it, but like, LeBron finishes a game. Did you see the kid? And he's like, LeBron, can I have your autograph? And he went by. And then as soon as he said, please, like, LeBron was like, cool. Because like, I can't fathom being in a situation where you're hounded. But hounded's not the right word, because it is a lot of little kids. But the adults ruin it for the kids. True. Because like, and again, dad and son waiting for an autograph, different. 40-year-old man who's sniping autographs to sell them on eBay.
Sitting outside the hotel all day. That's why I never get mad at those videos. Because I just know how I am as a human. Right. Some days I'm a very personal person, but I know it's some days I just don't want to talk to nobody. Right. You know, I can't imagine how it is being a mega star. And every time you outside, I mean, you're trying to eat dinner with your family and just all those different times somebody's trying to hound you for an autograph.
Eminem wrote a song about it.
Really?
Yeah. Which one was it? The one that I can't. What is the song? He's like, I can't. He talks about going in the bathroom without somebody begging for an autograph in the bathroom.
Oh,
I forget the name of the song.
2 Chainz said that in the song too.
Yeah,
I love my fans, but I don't want to take a picture in the restroom. Like, for facts though.
Like that's the truth though. But like, or like put yourself in a LeBron state where like, and I don't want to get in the LeBron Jordan battle, but like Jordan started it. Jordan made Jordan the brand, the off the court economics of what we're doing. But like LeBron was the first one to have expectations and exceed them.
For sure.
Which is where I always go into, if you add all of it together, LeBron hasn't won a bunch of championships. He's won some. He ain't won Jordan numbers. But like Jordan set the tone for sneakers, for apparel, for a brand. LeBron has set the tone for this guy in 8th grade is the next guy. And he's exceeded every aspect of that. So that weight's a little different.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another great documentary. I forget whatever they call that one, when they covered him in high school.
When he was at St. Mary's?
I mean, just to have that pressure as a 9th grader. And I got a question too. This brings up a question to me. I know we've been getting a little bit off topic.
That's fine.
How do you feel about the fact that, obviously we cover a lot of athletes.
Right.
Do you feel like they have to be role models just because they're good at a sport?
Man, that one's tough.
That is tough, isn't it?
I feel like they do, but I feel like the role model aspect has to have limitations because I personally, I don't like, some will call it cancel culture. Some will call it woke. Like, I'm not even talking about that, but like, I'm talking about like, as an adult, if they choose to have certain feelings, I'm not going to hold that against them when I buy a pair of sneakers or whatever, because they're allowed to have that feeling and that feeling doesn't necessarily go onto the basketball court, but I'm also not shut up and dribble. Like I'm good. And I still think that like even Michael Jordan did it in a way. And there's that quote, Republicans buy sneakers too. Like Michael Jordan got it and he understood how to do it. So to answer your question, like, yes, they need to be role models, but other adults have to understand where that gate is on what the role model is, because 12-year-old little boys and girls don't understand that. So why are we putting it in front of them? Right? Exactly. Like why are we trying to manipulate their thoughts when they just want to see people dunk? They want to see Steph Curry chew on his mouthpiece and make 3-pointers. Like, let Steph Curry chew on his mouthpiece and make 3-pointers and like celebrate that you got to experience that moment with your kid, because in 2046, you're going to sit and watch The Last Dance because somebody had the foresight to explain it to you 20 years later. Just like And One mixtape finally got explained to us. And then you go, oh, it all makes sense.
Yeah. And I think that ties into even what I do now today, because we're making athletes more and more higher superstars, younger and younger nowadays. And
that's probably the downfall.
Like I play into that, honestly. Right. I kind of do. Like the more highlights I produce for a kid, of course, the more notoriety they're going to be, gain. And I even sit back and watch now how many little kids run up to some of our local high school superstars. Right. And I question, I'm like, what if they told that kid no for an autograph right there? Right. Like, because like I say, for professionals, like if LeBron would have kept walking in that tunnel, right, it's fresh after a game. I don't even know if they won or lost that game. Right. But, raw emotions. I know how I was when I was a football player. If I lost, I don't want to talk to nobody. Like, even at Evangel, all our families that come down right after the field. Yeah. Honestly, it was win or lose. I needed a second to go in the locker room and decompose myself. Because I was just in this gladiator mode of I was trying to kill this dude, for not physically kill him, but I'm trying to do everything I can to win this game. And then right after the game, I turn around, my mom's right there. It's like, my mom could get me out of that. But
moms
if it's just like a regular fan, it's like, and I really don't know like that, I could be perceived in the wrong light right after a game, you know?
But isn't there a different light to that where like, and I think this kind of ties into what you're doing. Mm-hmm. This is the only opportunity for some of those kids to have a platform.
For sure.
Right. Mm-hmm. So like, it's always that balance
for sure
of like, how do you make it? But again, you could like, there's a kid down the road that like, he's really good, but because of the climate, the atmosphere, like the 4 years he had in high school are probably his last chance to really be a star, but he can be a star in his community and in the region
for the rest of it.
And that's going to carry over into 20 years from now when they're like, hey, come back, we're going to honor your jersey. Hey, come back, we're going to honor that team. Yeah. And then you have the memories and the moments and all of that. But then some people look at it like you're just trying to be a star or you just, and that's where it's, for me, in all these conversations and even in this one, like it goes back to, I think it's more important for us to educate people on why we're doing this. And I think conversations like this help because there's still people that think it's a fad. There's still people that don't understand, but the same people that don't understand are also sitting at home at night scrolling TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they like it, but they don't understand yet why they like it. They don't understand the magnification of what can happen by just starting.
Yeah. Funny enough, when I did the documentary with Kel Combs, now at Iowa, shout out to my boy Kel, go get it for March, man. Before I did the documentary, I was just I knew Kel well, but I would kind of ask fans what they thought of Kel. And I asked this one particular fan, and they heard this from somebody else. And what they told me, they said they heard that Kel was a bad teammate and he was big-headed and he didn't work hard. I was like, what? Who told you that? Right? And so then we get to produce the documentary. And that same fan didn't come up to me, but it was funny how, right, we talk about the community side of it. It was fans and community in Nixa that was coming up to me and was like, hey, you're the person producing the documentary? I was like, yeah. They was like, man, I had no clue Kel was waking up the day of a game, still had to go to school, waking up at 5 a.m. just to go get shots up.
Right, which is weird though, because if someone like him, and I don't know him, and I'm not going to try to make generalizations, but ultimately I am, but like the alternative to that is Kel saying, hey, come film me, then people are still going to feel that way.
And so he did ask for the documentary.
Right,
yeah.
You have no way of like differentiating the why, because you're going to have half the people say, that's really cool and would love to see more of that. And it's really cool what kids are doing. But then you have the others who are like, well, that kid's getting more just because blah, 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 or his name or whatever. And it's like, genuinely, that doesn't happen.
That's true,
are there times that it could happen? Yes. But that's the decision of someone else. Like that's not, the perception isn't always the reality.
For sure. Yeah.
And a lot of times the reality is the perception, I think, but that doesn't really always jive. And maybe that doesn't make sense.
No,
I don't know.
100%. From my standpoint, it does. Yeah, no doubt.
But it is, it's like, you're out trying to do something really cool, something that benefits Kel, also benefits the community, and could potentially benefit yourself or others. That's a good thing.
Yeah, no doubt.
Ultimately the boiled down version of do it or not. Is it good or is it bad?
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
The rest, like, people are going to have opinions. People are going to make judgments. Like, you can't stop them. But if you're consistent and you show, and then next thing you know, you do that for one, there's an opportunity to do it for someone else who maybe isn't a star, but is the heart and soul, or bleeds the blood of that team or whatever. And that's their moment to shine.
Yeah.
And just because you used athletics or an athlete to create it doesn't mean that you're not like, oh, I'm never doing a documentary again, and you'll have to score 14 points or more for me to even want to do it. Like, you want to create memories, you want to create content, you want to show off your skills, because that's also, like we said earlier, you're scratching your itch of, athletics, of competition, all in what is ultimately a good light.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I love what you said about trying to even, because I'm pretty passionate on I don't star chase.
Right.
And what I mean by that is I just won't go to who we consider the best player all the time. Right. Like in this instance right now, we can say the best player in our city is Chase Brenham. I've been to quite a few games of Rogersville, but I won't be just going to Rogersville just to produce those content for Chase, because I know it's going to do very well on Instagram. Right? That's what fuels me is finding that player that's out there doing the right things, playing the game the right way, being a great teammate, right? Playing the game this hard. And I can be able to produce that content and then be able to put it on social media. It's been fun. And even though I'm humble, I don't need the recognition for what I do. If people don't even know what I look like, I would prefer that because I don't need people to know me.
Right.
I just want them to know the players that I'm producing on social media. But it's gotten to a point to where parents are like, man, like we appreciate you just even coming to the game because your presence there is a good presence. And that's what I love. And that's the integrity I've, tried to build behind my name.
Well, and you've also got let's take Chase, for example. I don't know Chase. I know I've seen a lot of videos of him. I've seen your videos. I know he does a lot of stuff with Jordan. But you're filming Chase. Yes, you went there to film Chase. But there's also 4 other kids on that court. And you're not just turning your camera on when Chase has the ball.
Oh, no.
Which leads to more opportunities because guess what? If you take your art and you go, man, I got a play of the shooting guard making a 3, you want to get that out too,
sure, yeah.
Which ultimately helps that other kid.
Exactly.
And it may be his first time to be seen in front of your audience, which compounds to other audiences, other people. Plus there's I think it's really cool. And we've talked to some kids about it, but they want it. It's their new, I don't know. I try to relate to what it was when I was in school, but for me in school as an athlete, I love seeing my name in the paper after a Friday night game.
Yeah, that was us. Yeah.
But if that's all there was, there's the paper, they're great. They work hard. They cover well, but that's not where a lot of the kids are. That's not where the friends of the kids are. That's not, they can't, I guess what I'm trying to say in that is if you take an athlete and he gets a write-up in the paper, his peers aren't reading the paper. His peers are watching on Instagram, and that's their opportunity to be oh man, my peers can see it. My kid, I can get some confidence. I can gain it. And I think it's really cool. We're seeing some of that with having some of the kids do things for us, the confidence that they get out of it.
Yeah.
We got a new kid coming in that's doing the graphics, and he's a new kid in town.
Yeah. So
this is another way for him to find friends, to increase his social circle, to be noticed. And that kid's probably not going to make an Instagram post that says, I can't wait for more people to like my social media. But as more people follow him and pay attention and say, man, you made this really cool edit, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Not to mention that's potential for that kid after school gets out. If they really want to get into graphic design or they really want to get into filmmaking, or like I mentioned earlier, if they don't want to play football in college, but they want to be around the football team, that's cool too.
Yeah.
There's new outlets now that maybe adults don't always see that are available until they watch The Last Dance.
Yeah. And that's a good point, man, because we talk about this thing, and like you said, it's not everybody's going to be the superstar on the team. Right. And for me, when I got done with my playing days, it was a hard identity crisis for me. Man, I saw a post, they call it a NARP, a non-athletic regular person.
Not a NARP.
A non-athletic regular. I was like, man, that's me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so when I started building this community of what I do film-wise, it made me feel like a team again. Like I'm part of something that's bigger than myself.
Right.
And so that's very important. Like you talk about parents needing to know these other avenues that can help a young man or a young woman's confidence and make them feel important and make them feel bigger than something they are. Yeah.
Not to mention just the opportunities and the doors they could potentially open. Like I said, I see all the time. I've seen it with Missouri State. I've seen it with Mizzou. I've seen it other, Twitter where they're like, hey, we got an opportunity this year for creatives.
Yeah.
But like, no disrespect to the art teachers or, whoever, but like they may not be in tune with that.
Yeah.
They may not be seeing or understanding what those opportunities are. And that's not because they dislike social media or content creation, but they just have it's never been shown to them. And then they've never had the opportunity to show it to other kids. So like it's such a windy road with lots of paths that I think is just now starting to show what those paths can be.
Yeah.
But it goes back to, like I said, it takes the education of saying, here's the door that opened for Billy because Billy liked to take photos. Well, guess what? Missouri State needs photographers. They're trying to keep it in-house. They're running businesses. How can they do more and be relevant and because they're chasing likes and engagement just like Jacket Nation Sports is or just like you are, but you're not chasing likes for vanity. You're chasing likes to continue building something that's got a strong foundation here and then the roads that you can travel with it, but you got to build it and they will come, not to get too like Field of Dreamsy, but like,
that's right.
It's the truth though, because, I don't know, I equate, I was having this conversation with Brian one day, like in 1964, someone probably was sitting around and was like, hey, I want to sell some ads. And they were like, okay, how do I do it? And they're like, I go buy a radio tower. Then they were like, okay, well, what do I choose for people to listen to that then I can sell ads to people who want that audience? And they're like, I'll pick country music. And like, it wasn't necessarily built from a radio station. And correct me if I'm wrong, if the comments, somebody shouts out or whatever, but like there had to be a means to an end. And if somebody saw an opportunity to sell ads, they were like, oh, I'm going to open a radio station. Yeah. It's no different than what you're doing or what I'm doing, but we maybe don't make the goal to sell ads. Yeah. If the goal is real and right from the jump, the rest comes.
Yeah, it'll take care of itself.
But it doesn't come without hard work. It doesn't come without, you are chasing some likes, you're chasing some shares, you're chasing whatever, but it's different now than it was in 1960 and 1970. It's different than it was in 2015, And I think that's just something, I think more conversations like this will help people understand the why behind being on the sideline at the TFC or the Blue and Gold or the game on Tuesday night in Crocker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they still don't get it. It takes time. It's a slow burn. With that being said, what have you seen change in, like, you've been doing this since 2021? Yeah. 2020 or 2021. Like, what have you seen change since then in 5 short years?
I think what's changed, obviously the way Instagram works is the biggest thing for me. I remember back when I was first starting posting video, it was limitations to posting videos. You only could post them for so long. You only can have certain type of music on there and different things like that. From a player standpoint, it's a little bit good and bad. I think the players understand that if they do the right things on the court, then the rest will take care of itself. Versus sometimes we have certain players the kids nowadays call it like a clip forming, where they only try to do those certain things to get that achievement of getting on Instagram. But that's why I know I stay true to who I am and true to what my passion is to produce the content for the players I know that's doing it the right way.
Right.
And then obviously now it's more people in the business. Right. It's younger kids in the industry. It's way more cameras on the baseline than when I started.
Right.
Along with, Obviously, you got Sports Ozone and KY3 already out there, but now
doing good stuff.
Yeah, doing great stuff. Great stuff.
No shade to
Absolutely
what they've
no shade
built
from
or doing. They're just doing it in a different way, and it's good because ultimately the goal of it should be, and probably is, exposure for kids and more people, or exposure for businesses that partner with them. That's the goal. Let's just do it in a good way that ultimately benefits more kids, however that benefit is.
Yeah, and then I think what you just said is the next part of the monetization side of it.
Right.
Like you said, when I first started, it was rough kind of navigating the scenes of it because some people just didn't get it yet.
Right.
And I think now people are starting to connect it with this sport can be used for advertisement for businesses in Southwest Missouri.
Right.
I mean, my biggest thing I always say to people is, what connects football and beer? Nothing.
Right. It's kind of like those new Uber Eats commercials where McConaughey's like, actually the food came first, and this was a way to sell food or whatever he says.
Those two don't connect at all. Just even more when they passed the rule of they can now put advertising on NBA jerseys. Right. What does Bumble have to do with the Clippers?
Right.
Nothing. Right. It's all just connecting what the sport is doing, connected with the culture, and then using those viewerships to, bring it all home together.
But Bumble has a goal, and they want their product in front of eyeballs.
Exactly.
They're looking at it for percentages. It's not like I've talked about this before. Like Bumble doesn't put their logo on the Clippers jersey and then watch their to get an immediate return.
No,
it's the numbers game. If 25,000 people are at a basketball game and the camera's on Kawhi Leonard shooting a free throw and you see the Bumble, that's an impression.
It's creating that mindset.
Like it's just showing that they exist. Like that's part of it, and that's where I don't know. I could go all day on that side, but like that's where it starts, is showing, is just being there, being in front of people. We've been playing around. People don't buy ads. People don't buy from ads. People buy from the people they remember in the moments that mattered most. It's kind of how we're moving in what we're doing, is like, how do you just consistently how can you help a business get in front of subtly moments that matter? Because if you do that, then it's repeatable. It builds trust. It builds all of that. But it's also like really cool for the people that get to have those moments. Because if this business doesn't contribute to what we're trying to do, then that kid doesn't get that cool free throw shot. Or like we have a shot from last year where we did a replay, and like it's Lebanon versus Camdenton, and it's the Lebanon student section as the Camdenton kid shoots the free throw. And that will be like a memory that will live on forever. And if people didn't believe in what we're doing to make that possible, then we don't capture that moment. And whoever was shooting the free throw doesn't tell their kids about it. And then their kids don't tell their friends. And then 20, 50, 70 years from now, you can hold on to these memories because guess what? They didn't go pro, but they enjoyed high school, and they get to tell their kids, and then their kids might play sports because of it, or they might sing in choir because of it, or be in FFA. And so, but I don't have those. I can't go back. You can't go back to even 2015. It's baby steps to what you might have had. But I look back and like I'd have to call the radio station and hope they kept a digital archive that then I could download and listen to. But I'm not trying to download and listen to that play in my senior year where we recovered a fumble to get the ball back to beat Parkview.
Man, I couldn't tell you how many times me and my dad would go back and listen to. We were blessed. We had a radio guy for our baseball games, and I couldn't tell you how many times we would go back to his website and just listen to, C.J. Jackson hits the two-run home run to tie the game up, stuff like that. And recently, the website, I guess he doesn't renew the license, and it's down now. And you just talk about. I also think about that aspect too of, I'm helping kids get recruited and exposure, but the moment of 10 years from now, when they're all sitting around Thanksgiving and somebody just thinks to throw on YouTube and that game recap is up there forever,
right?
Or they see that highlight and they starts conversation, that gives me goosebumps too of the memories that I'm able to create for some of these families and the communities in Southwest Missouri.
I think it gets taken for granted that we're creating others doing some stuff. I know there's a bunch in Springfield doing what you're doing. Yeah. But we're creating the archives.
Yeah.
Now. And it's a weird thing because like when you're scrolling TikTok or Instagram or whatever, you're not like, oh, that's archival.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's funny. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Mm-hmm. He made a cool dunk. Mm-hmm. He made a good pass. Like that's a cool touchdown. But 10 years from now, there's going to be someone, whether it's a little kid that a fourth grader watching Friday Night Lights at the game, and then he goes and he's like, man, I remember when so-and-so scored that touchdown, and guess what? You don't have to just remember.
We can go watch it.
We go watch it. You can search it.
Exactly.
You can find it, and it just lives on forever. And it's, I don't know, we've been all over the place in what we're talking about, but like, I think that's the key is like, you're creating, Nick's Alive is creating archival moments that are going to live on long before. We're creating The Last Dance.
Yeah.
And there's going to be, as it continues growing, social media, Instagram's not going anywhere.
No, it's not.
It's clearly not MySpace. It's going to be there and live on, and it's going to help shape the foundations for generations to come. But it's like weird to think that's what we're doing.
Yeah. And that's why I'm so big now on like storytelling.
Right.
I think humbly, of course, I can make a highlight with my eyes closed now.
Right.
Just off what we normally see on Instagram. But those documentaries, like what I did for Kale, is like what I'm itching for now, to be able to tell some of these stories of athletes, because sometimes we just get misconceptions of them. Mm-hmm. And we don't understand that, whether it was maybe losing a parent or maybe not making a team freshman and sophomore year, or, just having to go through those battles of what you see now wasn't always what it was a couple of years ago, right, or what it was last season. The
progressions, the story, the timeline. Mm-hmm. We talk about timelines all the time. Like that's what you're producing, and it's really cool. And I don't know. I'm so anxious to see what it's like 5 years from now.
Me too.
I know what it was like 5 years ago.
Exactly.
I know what it was like in 2000, 2010. I remember when Facebook came on the scene, social media, and just, I don't know. We had someone tell us one time that, and I think I mentioned to you before we started, like, originally it was a luxury, and now it's becoming a necessity. But it's a necessity that ultimately is good.
Yeah.
Good for so many different aspects that I think makes it really unique. And I'm fortunate to be in this position. Sure. I know it's really cool. You can, podcast, you can talk about it in a different way. You can reach different people, and like you said, like, a coach in New York looking for a point guard may go, hey, let's find that needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
What are they doing in Missouri?
Yeah. So it's way better chances to get that versus what it was in like 2005 of just that player that was maybe talented, that maybe just didn't, he maybe was the fourth talented person on the team that just didn't get that look, versus now they're able to get that exposure. Yeah. 100%.
Well, I said, I'm a fan of what you're doing. I think it's really cool. I think it's a unique position to watch it from someone who's trying to be in as many places as you can be, but also do it in a way that keeps you happy, keeps you motivated, keeps you going. And I think sky's the limit for what you're doing. Oh, shout out to you. Got a podcast, right?
Oh, yeah. Stay the Course podcast.
Yeah.
Me and my boy Stanley Jacobs. If you're a basketball fan, that's our ministry.
Yeah, you got
Heavenly Basketball. So.
Okay, Heavenly Basketball?
Well, it's heavy into basketball.
Heavy into basketball,
so,
okay.
If you're a basketball fan in South Missouri area, we try to give some pointers, highlight the best players that we see.
Yeah, you guys just did like your awards kind of thing?
Yeah,
like...
so we did our version of a first and second team for boys and girls, and then we gave out a couple, Coach of the Year, MVP. We had some other different awards like sharpshooter, best defender, best facilitator, Mr. Clutch, Mr. and Mrs. Clutch. So we had some fun with it. Hopefully the fans, what we've been seeing, the fans are having fun with it too. And we don't want to be disrespectful. I know sometimes you get to, like you talked about earlier, well, this person's getting more highlights than other. But I think that's the cool part about our area is we support each other so well.
Right.
And don't get me wrong. Now, when we play each other, we want to beat each other. Right. But at the end of the day, we all agree that, like, hey, we come from a unique area, and it's actually a lot of high-level talent that comes out of this area that may not be seen as like the St. Louis or Kansas City, but we support our athletes well.
All right. Yeah. One last question. Recent, past, who's the best high school basketball player you've ever seen?
In Southwest Missouri?
Ever.
That
you've seen in person?
The best basketball player I've seen in person, high school basketball player I've seen in person. It's probably either going to be, so I got to see Chet Holmgren.
Okay.
And Jordan, the young man, he plays for the Magic with Chet now.
No.
He went to, it probably would be Chet Holmgren, though, that I've seen in person.
He was crazy good.
Yeah, and this was like, I got to see him in high school. We'll say it again.
He didn't look like he should be.
No, he didn't. I got to see him in high school. This was right before the world figured out who he was. It was in Kansas City at a Under Armour event. And yeah, he's the truth. I want to say it's Jordan Springer.
That might be it. I'm not real familiar. I kind of have a handful of ones I watch.
Yeah, they both played on the same team, but I got to see those two guys like I said, at a UA event in Kansas City, and they was every bit of the truth. That was a tough one, man. I feel like my guys they're gonna be like, man, you ain't say me, but it's a lot, man. Kel Combs, Anton Brookshire. We had a lot.
Trevin
Brazil. Which,
I know a lot of people are mad because he's at Arkansas and not Mizzou.
And that's the cool part of what progressions can do.
Right.
Because the player Trevin is today
isn't
what we got to see here. He was more protect the rim, finish dunks, but now he's being able to put the ball on the floor. Aminu Muhammad. We got some names that's come through this area since I've been here. Houston-wise, I can shout out a couple more. We got Chris Johnson. I could go names for there, but I only did videography in Houston for about a year. Most of my videography career has been in Southwest Missouri, which I love it.
For me, national player would be Teddy Dupay.
Okay.
You know that name?
I don't.
Do some Googling.
Yeah, definitely.
He was from Florida. Came played the TOC.
Okay.
Early 2000s. Scored, I think, 49 in the TOC game.
Now you put the TOC in there?
Teddy Dupay.
Man.
But that's because, again, I got to watch it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then locally, I'm going to go with the dark horse, Devin Mitchell.
Okay, I know that one. Yeah.
Because he gets bonus points for breaking the backboard at Lebanon.
Yeah.
So,
but that is true.
Yeah.
I just saw that clip.
Yeah.
Because I know they
video
put
too.
that kickapoo run together. That was at Lebanon. That's crazy.
Yeah. That was I think that would have been, I was graduated. So it was the first year after high school for me. But yeah, Devin, but that whole kick, you could put that whole kickapoo team on a pedestal, but then because I kind of fell out of local high school basketball in the late 2010s and then up into really now, but it's been cool. We got to watch Chase play against Lebanon. Got some heat on that one.
Yeah, really.
We had the Lebanon boys in here before the game, and they were confident, but I didn't expect them to be like, we're going to lose. But then YouTube kind of got some negative, like you put the, comments like scoreboard. It's like, you expect the kid to come here and sit down and be like, we're going to lose.
Yeah, we're going to lose. Yeah,
you got some.
That's what I always tell. Hey, man, you gotta beat me swinging, man. I'm going to go down swinging.
Right.
Yeah.
Chase has been fun to watch. The kid from Glendale.
A couple years ago?
No, this year.
This year.
That's a sophomore, I think.
Okay.
Right. I can't remember his name. Starts with a J, I think. But he was good. Those Rogersville boys that are coming up behind Chase, they got a pretty good squad over there.
Dude, they're hopefully they get the job done Friday.
Friday, yep. No, but like I said, look up some Teddy Dupay.
I gotta look him up.
Early 2000s.
Man, you put me on the spot because I forgot about the TLC.
Yeah, man. There's been.
Man. I done watched a lot of basketball too. I feel like I'm 28 now, so I'm getting up there. They calling me Unc.
Unc, don't get me started. That's what I've been. I got the two, Dakota and Macy. They do a pretty high maintenance podcast here, and they call me Unc. So I'm just now starting to call him nephew. That's the only thing I got to say back. Like it's kind of stuck. The Shadow, like Unc's been around a while though. Yeah. But I think Chad Ochocinco has kind of made it with him and Shannon Sharp. You know, he calls him Unc all the time.
Put that bottle down.
I like his little jokes.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's a good podcast, man. But yeah, that was a good question. Yeah, I rode with Chet though. That's probably the best I've seen, and just for where he was at in the moment to see where he's at now is.
Gotcha. What do you think about Wemby? Sustainable?
I think so. I mean, that's another example of the hard work he does behind the scenes.
Right.
And then we've had so much information to that, like he really works on his body and making sure his ankles are healthy and all that good stuff.
We don't need to be a Greg Odom.
Yeah, like Greg or even like Yao Ming, right? We see these super tall guys. The way they move is not sustainable for over years, but I think we have so much technology now that
I just hope it's not too late for Zion.
You know, I just recently saw something that he's played 36 games in a row, which is the longest.
Don't jinx it, bro.
Yeah, well, my bad.
Yeah,
the longest run in his career of a consistent game. So, I mean, it looks like he's doing well with the weight off.
But every year we get he looks the best he's ever looked.
Yeah, that's the summer.
Right.
It's 3 we can know we're gonna get James Harden. We're gonna get
James
Zion.
Harden trade.
Yeah, that, and then we're gonna get Luka. They all look every summer. There's gonna be a clip of them somewhere. They're gonna be like, "Oh, look at Luka, he's losing weight." Yeah, there's gonna be those three are gonna be consistent every summer. So
you know what else is gonna be consistent? LeBron's gonna be scoring. Well, actually, what was I saw? Shea. How many 180 straight games with 20 plus points or something?
Yeah,
nuts.
I think he just broke it too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Yeah, and I know LeBron, it was earlier this year, that game winner where he broke the streak of having double digits of Brown. Right. But, yeah, man.
How long is LeBron going to play?
I think it's coming to the wraps. I know he wants to wait for his son Bryce at Arizona.
Right.
I just don't think Bryce, obviously he redshirted this year.
Right.
So, I don't know. It was talks of, because how they letting NBA guys come. I don't think they're going to approve LeBron.
Yeah,
but 2 or 3, it's going to be a sad day.
You think he does a full farewell tour a la Kobe?
They're not going to let him just walk.
Yeah, they
like what they did with Chris Paul this year. So, which I'm a Rockets fan.
Right.
And Chris Paul gave us some pretty good years.
You know who I'm not a fan of?
Who's that?
KD.
Really?
Yeah, trash.
Really?
Trash.
Because he joined the Warriors?
No, just because I think...
It's a Texas guy. I'm a Lawrence guy too.
I know. KD's not trash. He's a great basketball player. I just don't like his game, even though it's an amazing game. Like that 5-tool, but I just can't get behind the KD bandwagon.
But you like Wemby though?
I like Wemby because he's different.
Yeah.
I like Wemby because he's transcending games. I legitimately think Wemby is the next LeBron.
Yeah.
With health.
Can I push back though?
Yeah.
If we don't have KD, we don't get a Wemby. You don't think so?
Probably right.
We don't get a Wemby playing the way he's able to play. KD was, I mean, I know you could throw like Dirk in there, but like even think about like Kevin Garnett.
Right.
Kevin Garnett, if KD was before Kevin Garnett.
Anything is possible.
You know what I'm saying? We would have saw Kevin Garnett. All it is this, they're playing behind the arch now.
Yeah.
Versus everything was mid-range, back to the basket, like the Kobe, the Melo era.
Can we agree on one thing though?
What's that?
I don't even think I need to ask you this.
What's that?
Klay Thompson's overrated.
Now, yeah.
Always. When he complained about not being top 75 all time.
Yeah, which
like Klay, you had some great games. But like you're not like, yeah, you didn't dribble the ball and scored like 44 points. Amazing.
Yeah. If he retired right now, you think he wouldn't be a Hall of Famer?
I think he'd be a Hall of Famer. Okay. I just don't think
first ballot? I don't think he's first ballot though.
No.
Depends on what the ballot is, but
yeah. I don't know, man. Though after Bill Belichick not making the NFL Hall of Fame on first ballot, like anything's possible.
Yeah,
I don't know. Klay again,
overrated Klay.
I just don't. Like I said, I'm not trying to throw shade on his game. I just think that there's levels.
Yeah,
and I just don't think Klay had the tools to be who Klay thought he was.
Yeah, I think in that system, it made him look great. Right. You know, so.
I don't know. I could have those sort of debates all day long. What's next for you? What do you got? We got in the works.
So just finishing up basketball season. I mean, now when we recorded this, state for big school is happening.
Friday.
Actually, yeah,
Thursday or Friday.
For the boys, the girls, it may start tonight. I think Marshall plays tonight.
That Stratford team's tough.
They had a big game at Lebanon.
Yeah.
Boonville got up early on them, man.
Oh, got a big. Yeah. Larson girl.
I listened to that on the radio.
She come. Oh, you didn't buy our feed.
Oh, I should, man. If I'd have known it was y'all.
We got some good replays. She hit those from the volleyball line. She hit little Steph Curry action. She got handles too. Dude, that whole Stratford team, but that Boonville team was scrappy.
Yeah,
their freshman was they had a freshman that was their best player. That was fun to watch. So will you do much baseball, any content like that?
So it's tough, not to get long with it because I know we're at the end, but it's tough for me to do baseball because I'm so heavy involved in AAU.
Okay.
And then the other part too, hopefully if y'all watching this, the baseball players just don't reach out as much as the basketball players. But this year, Dale Lambert, he pushed back on me because I said that about girls basketball in our area. And he was like, man, stop waiting on them, just go. So I might. A couple years ago, I was really heavy in the baseball scene, so we'll see if I can get back in that area. But I'm traveling a lot. Pretty much every weekend from about April to July, I'm on the road somewhere. So
on the road. What's your favorite thing to eat when you're out on the road?
Oh,
you a foodie?
I'm a foodie. I try to find a good burger spot. Okay. I'm looking for like that hole in the wall burger spot.
All right.
Ceiling falling down.
It's dust dropping. You know what I'm saying? A fly lands in your soda.
I'm right where I need to be, baby.
Good.
I'm right where I need to be. Go in there and give me a double bacon cheeseburger.
So you're a smash burger fan?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, definitely.
That's me. I'm not eating a burger really, or like I will, but like I'm order. If it's a smash burger, I'm down. But
I gotta get some Kansas City barbecue. They say it's the best.
Oh yeah.
You agree? Have you had Texas barbecue though?
I've had some. I've not had. Okay, hold on. I've had Terry Black's, which was at a chain Terry Black's. So I don't. It was good, but it probably wasn't like. It wasn't like. I don't know. I've had as close as I've had to Texas barbecue would probably be City Butcher in Springfield.
City Butcher is the stuff, man.
I feel like it's got a Texas feel to it. So
City Butcher is the place to be.
Yeah.
I hope I get a sponsorship from them one day, please. That was actually when like I said, I committed to Evangel, so I didn't see. But when I got my first day here in Springfield, shout out my boy Coach Edward Sands. He took me to City Butcher.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, man, I
got there before they ran out.
Yeah, he was like, man, we got to get there early because once they run out, they close. And I was like, that was like one of the first places I ate in Springfield. I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna be all right. I think I'm gonna be all right here. Yeah.
Well, man, I sure appreciate you driving up here. Big fan. Go go check him out on Instagram. At big.toe, like tow truck, not like big toe, but it sounds like big toe.
Yeah. I used to say TOW was take over the world.
Take over the world, right?
Where the T in there, I don't know.
You're doing it in Southwest Missouri, man.
Appreciate it.
You got a fan in us. Applaud what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Applaud the reasoning behind what you're doing too, more than anything. I think it's really cool to see more people figuring out non-traditional ways to be there for kids and help and mentor and all that. And it doesn't go unnoticed. So
I appreciate that. Likewise to you all. I wish you all nothing but the best of success, and thank you for having me on. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We'll get this out. Hopefully next week or so. We got a few ahead, but it's gonna be fun. We're anxiously waiting. We kick off our baseball streams starting the 31st, so that starts taking over some stuff. But we got a new kid coming to help us out, do some edits and stuff. Yeah. In the late spring and into the summer, and then we got some big plans. We got some football ideas we haven't really told about. Yeah. So we're gonna really rock and roll, and then once we get through football, then we get to kind of relax a little bit, and we get to enjoy basketball. Not that we don't enjoy football, but football we take so much pride in what we're doing, and
especially out here. Come on,
right. Yeah. So it's our big way to give back as much as possible and try new technology and kind of up our thing. Yeah. So we're gonna try to bring in some more stats this year. That's our next kind of thing we want to do. We want to do that. So we've had some good supporters and people who've really bought into what we're doing. So we're just gonna keep building.
I love it. Can't wait to see it. Yeah.
All right, CJ.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you, my man.
Take it easy.